Could that can of tuna be slowly poisoning your brain? Here's what you need to know. Have you ever opened a can of tuna without thinking twice, assuming it's a quick, healthy meal loaded with protein and omega-3s? Most of us have. But what if I told you that depending on which type of tuna you're eating, that seemingly harmless sandwich or salad could be quietly exposing your brain to toxic levels of mercury? This isn't just another nutrition scare. It's a scientifically backed concern that even many health-conscious people overlook. Why are some tuna cans cheaper than others? Why are there so many types on the shelf? And the most important question, which one could be flooding your body with mercury without you even realizing it? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on a truth the food industry doesn't often talk about. Not all tuna is created equal, and the difference could be silently harming your brain, nervous system, and long-term health. But don't worry, we're not just here to sound the alarm. I'll also reveal the top 4 mistakes people make when eating canned tuna, and more importantly, how to enjoy it safely, without risking your well-being. Curious to protect yourself and your family? Stick around till the end, because by the time we're done, you'll never look at a can of tuna the same way again. If you're already invested in your health, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on critical, evidence-based health insights. Do you eat canned tuna regularly? How do you prepare it? And where in the world are you tuning in from? Drop your answers in the comments. We'd love to connect with you. What is mercury, and where does it come from? Mercury is a naturally occurring element in the Earth's crust, but thanks to decades of industrial activity, especially coal burning, mining, and metal production, huge amounts are now being released into our air and waterways. Once airborne, inorganic mercury settles into oceans and rivers. There, in the low-oxygen environments of the ocean floor, specialized bacteria convert it into methylmercury, a much more dangerous and easily absorbed form. Now here's the danger. Methylmercury is toxic to the human brain, heart, kidneys, and developing fetus. And once it enters the marine food chain, it begins a process called bioaccumulation. Let's break down the chain. 1. Tiny plankton and microscopic sea creatures absorb methylmercury. 2. Small fish eat the plankton. 3. Larger fish, like tuna, eat the smaller fish. Each step up the food chain concentrates mercury levels exponentially. Because tuna are large migratory predators, they accumulate massive mercury loads over their lifetime, especially certain species that live longer and feed more aggressively. To make it worse, methylmercury isn't easily eliminated from the body, neither in tuna nor in humans. It accumulates over time, like slowly filling a toxic storage tank. According to a study published in Environmental Health Perspectives, even low-level methylmercury exposure can negatively affect cognitive function and fine motor skills, particularly in children and pregnant women. Another study from JAMA Neurology linked mercury exposure from fish consumption to brain shrinkage and higher risk of neurodegenerative disorders like Alzheimer's disease. Real-life case example: one of my colleagues treated a man in his 40s who had been eating canned tuna for lunch nearly every day. He came in with symptoms of brain fog, memory lapses, and tremors. Blood tests revealed elevated mercury levels, and after he drastically cut back on high-mercury fish, his symptoms improved significantly. The 4 biggest mistakes people make when eating canned tuna. Mistake number 1. Not knowing the tuna species you're eating. Not all tuna are created equal, and their mercury levels vary drastically. Here are the 3 most common types found in cans. 1. Skipjack tuna, Katsuonis palamis. Labeled as chunk light tuna or just tuna. Mercury level, low, 0.12 parts per million. Why safer? Skipjack is smaller, lives only 2 to 3 years, and doesn't accumulate much mercury. Best choice for regular consumption. 2. Yellowfin tuna, Tuna albacores. Often labeled as yellowfin or sometimes light tuna. Mercury level, moderate, 0.35 ppm. Grows larger, lives longer, meaning more mercury buildup. Okay, occasionally, but not every day. 3. Albacore tuna, Tuna alalunga. Labeled as white tuna or albacore. Mercury level, high, 0.50 ppm. Long-living large fish, has the highest levels of methylmercury. Limit consumption, especially for children and pregnant women. According to the FDA and EPA, Mercury exposure in high amounts can harm developing brains, damage nervous systems, and increase the risk of cardiovascular problems. Mistake number 2, ignoring labels or brand transparency. Most people grab a can of tuna without checking the fine print. But those little words make a big difference. Chunk light tuna equals usually skipjack safer. White tuna equals albacore more mercury. Yellowfin equals somewhere in between eat with caution. Brands that care about your health often specify the species right on the label or in their FAQ section online. If you're not sure, check the brand's website. It only takes a minute. Mistake number 3, ignoring weekly tuna limits just because it's convenient. Many people love tuna for its convenience, whether it's a quick lunch, a protein-packed snack, or part of a healthy salad. But here's the hidden danger. Eating too much tuna can lead to mercury buildup in your body over time. Mercury is a neurotoxin that accumulates in fish, especially larger species like tuna. Over time, it builds up in the human body and can harm the brain, kidneys, and even affect fetal development in pregnant women. The U.S. dietary guidelines recommend about 227 grams, 8 ounces, of seafood per week to balance benefits and safety. Tuna is rich in omega-3 fatty acids, essential for brain and heart health. But not all canned tuna is created equal. Mercury levels vary depending on the species and brand. That's why reading the label matters. Compare different brands at the store. Choose light tuna or skipjack more often, as they generally have lower mercury levels compared to albacore or yellowfin. Mistake number 4, skipping the drain step, leaving excess liquid in your tuna. Here's a kitchen mistake that seems small but makes a big difference. Not draining your canned tuna properly. Whether it's packed in oil or water, excess liquid waters down your recipes, turning a creamy tuna salad into a soggy mess. How to do it right. Use a fine mesh strainer and press the tuna with a fork to squeeze out every drop. Or use the can lid trick. Partially open the lid, turn it over the sink, and press down firmly to extract liquid without losing any tuna. Ever made a tuna sandwich that turned your bread into mush? That's what happens when you skip draining. A well-drained can mean better flavor, texture, and presentation. Let's settle the debate. Tuna in oil or water? Which one should you choose? Here's what most people don't know. Heavy metals like mercury and aluminum are lipophilic, meaning they bind more easily to fat than water. According to studies published in Public Health Nutrition, draining tuna in oil removes a significant portion of the mercury because the toxins are pulled into the oil. In contrast, tuna in water retains more mercury within the fish, so even after draining, you consume more contaminants. If your goal is lower mercury exposure, opt for oil-packed tuna and drain it well. Yes, it's higher in calories, but also richer in omega-3s and vitamin D. People with conditions like cystic fibrosis, who need more essential fatty acids, may benefit more from oil-packed tuna. Don't give up on tuna. It's a powerhouse of protein and healthy fats. The trick is to be smart about portions and sourcing. Choose skipjack or light tuna, which generally has lower mercury. Avoid eating more than 2 servings per week, especially for children and pregnant women. Mix it up with sardines, salmon, or mackerel, which are nutritious and lower in mercury. Now that you're aware of these hidden tuna mistakes, you're better equipped to enjoy this nutritious fish safely. Have you ever made any of these tuna mistakes? Do you have a favorite way to prep canned tuna or a brand you trust? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, type yes in the comments. And if you love getting smarter about your health and food choices, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, tap the bell icon for new uploads, and join the conversation below. Your insights help others too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.